But I got money in the bank, gold in the safe, data in the clear, I got more in my waist. Done the whole shit, I can let it go to waste. Hold up. But I got money in the bank, gold in the safe, data in the clear, I got more in my waist. Done the whole shit, I can let it go to waste. Hold up. But I got money in the bank, gun on my waist, data on the clear, I got one in the fist. Rob a nigga quick, how I get it out the field. When I write a voice, shit just hear this nigga feel. Hold up. Then I gotta go. When I jump in that pussy, I like Geronimo. Boy, I'm a killer, don't push me, I get the domino. I lay a nigga down, not a sound in your audio. But I got hundreds in the safe, holes in my fist. Turn them all down for the work in the plate. Try to set a nigga up like a server to the J's. I won't let them get the jump, but I've been looking for the pay. I'm a big spinner, big tipper. I'm a big shooter, bitch, a big killer. Big Ruger for them bigger niggas. I swear to God, I shoot it out without you, bitch niggas. Cause I got 30 in the kid. On the ground for the sneeze. 17 shots at my toolie for the day. Hold up. I'ma run it up and I'm gonna get money.
Oh! Fuck! I'm hit. 361. Shots fired at and by the police. We have an officer struck by gunfire. Fuck me. Offender. Are you good, Chuck? I'm shot. We got officers. Okay, well, I'm the basis line. 7300 block of John Taylor Blackstone. Take him to the hospital. Take him to the hospital. Is it? Take him to the hospital. Fuck. Can't even handle it. Take him to the hospital! Come on. No, hey, take the keys, take him, go. And they're in the keys, they're in the car. 361 David, I'm transferring my car to the hospital.
I'm absolutely just like, that video is so amazing to me because it just shows, number one, it shows the power of adrenaline. Number two, it shows the importance of having that tourniquet. I know I've played that video before, but that's something that I'm going to come back to many, many times. It's amazing. Today, we're going to be talking about an incident where two police officers encounter a subject and utilize a taser. I'm going to get into why I think that's an important topic for us to talk about in relation to a situation that I'm personally attached to. But before we go any further, it is the breakdown disclaimer.
This live stream may contain content that could be perceived as shocking or offensive, but it is presented solely for educational purposes. Viewer discretion is advised. We strive to adhere to community guidelines, and any potentially sensitive material is shared with the intent of fostering understanding and learning. Disclaimer. This live stream very important. All right, we got to always make sure we put that disclaimer on here. Fair use. We are utilizing all images and videos for the education of current security guards and future security guards. Guys, how can we learn, right? A lot of our companies, they don't let us wear body cameras. If we do wear body cameras, you can't really utilize the information because it's proprietary to the company that you work for or the contractor. So we have to break down these videos. And it's important that we do so because it's all about education. So today we're going to be talking about a situation where two police officers encounter a subject. They are making a basic traffic stop. While making this traffic stop, the subject gets nervous. It happens, right? I think he's pretty young. I don't know how old he is, early 20s, whatever. He gets nervous. And when he decides to book it, the cops give chase. And when they give chase, instead of reading the room and looking at the situation in totality, the last stream that we just did where we were talking about the local Portland security guard that initially closes that gap. And once he closes that gap, it takes away all of the opportunity to see your options. It's no different in policing. Now, when I say this, I'm saying this as somebody who's looking at it from the outside looking in. I realize that I am not a police officer. I realize that I do not
go through on a daily basis what those guys go through. I want to make sure that I stay in my lane and show proper respect to law enforcement officers. No disrespect intended. However, I did graduate high school and I have an above average IQ, and I can look at a situation and say, you know, objectively, this probably wasn't the best thing to do, right? And it's important because this is something that is so applicable to security. And I'm going to show you guys something where it really plays in. So, as always, I will do my absolute best to not do any commentary. Let the video play, let you guys see it in its totality, and then we'll break it down and we'll slow walk it. Here it goes.
So, did you give me the right name?
Yeah.
What's your name?
Jacob Todd Jones.
Okay. Why don't you give me the right name?
It is the right name.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Brent, I know. So, right now you're under arrest. Try to say something. Stop! You're gonna get tased! Stop! Shit!
Okay, we're going to pause that right there. Guys, people often ask me, why do you work in security as opposed to not walking in law enforcement? If you guys watched the video where I had an interview with a guy named Michael Bach. Michael Bach is a security guard that works for Echelon Security here in Portland. Echelon is nationally known. They are renowned for the work that they have done during the pandemic. They work in one of the hardest hit areas of Portland. They are on the street. I mean, like literally they are front and center in the security landscape here. And Michael is one of the main guys in that organization. When I asked him why he was working in security as opposed to staying in law enforcement, because he does have a law enforcement background, he talked about something that I thought was very profound. He said, in law enforcement, the cops always have to win. They will continue to send more people. They will continue to send more bodies. They have to win every interaction, every situation, good, bad, or indifferent, right? And in security, sometimes the best way to win is to lose, just to take that L, right? This person takes off running. You have his vehicle. You more than likely have his license. You clearly know who this person is because he's given you a fictitious name. You know that that's not the person. Once he takes off running, you give chase. Not only do you put yourself and the people that are on that highway in danger, but you decide to tase this person right on the highway. And when you tase this person on the highway, he's incapacitated. And then look what happens. This is the situation that too often security guards find themselves in. We are not in a position where we have to win. Just like the situation in the last stream where we were talking about getting that person outside of the door of that business. He gets the guy outside and there continues to be an issue. There continues to be an altercation to the point that now that company, that officer, that business, they're looking at a $250,000 lawsuit. Sometimes the best way to win is to take the L. I want to play this other video and then we'll play this again in its entirety. Let me remove this. The reason why I found this to be such an applicable situation is because recently my company, the company that I work for, 2 officers were seen following someone out of the store. It's very harmless. No disrespect to these officers. They're good people. I've met one of them. I haven't met the other. But this video blew up on social media. It blew up on social media. It blew up on YouTube, on several channels. People were talking about it. Most people laughed about it. But I want you guys to see something. And you tell me if you see what I see in relation to the video that we just watched. Okay? Stand by.
What are you doing? What are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Say, what are you doing, bro?
Where is she? She's on the street. As soon as she rounds that corner, she goes out that door. You see a car drive by. Now, this is a mentally ill person. This is a person with a lot of problems, a lot of issues. Something as insignificant as just following a person out the door all the way down to the sidewalk to the point that this person now runs into the street. That situation could have very easily ended up like the other situation. So as guards, we have to remember where our proximity is in terms of our job, which for the most part is the interior of the store. Once that person has gotten outside of the store, if they've taken the products, you got to take that L. We live in an area here in Portland where the homeless community, the mentally ill community, the drug addicted, they can do no wrong. In the eyes of the law, in the eyes of our leadership, our prosecuting attorneys, they can do absolutely no wrong. So once they get out that door, you have to be very careful about giving chase in this situation, even if it's something as non-threatening as what you see here, because that situation could have very easily ended up like the other situation. I am going to pull this video down and I'm going to play the original video. And I want you guys to see the proximity of where this person is. Could he have handled this situation differently? Did he need to give chase? Did he have to tase this person? The situation looks extremely bad, but I want to know what you guys think. Okay. Let me bring it back. Fair use and disclaimer of understanding what you're watching is for educational purposes. Stand by.
So, did you give me the right name?
Yeah,
What's your name?
Jacob Todd Jones.
Okay. Why don't you give me the right name?
It is the right name.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Brent, I know. So, right now you're under arrest. Right, there's a foot right there. Stop! You're gonna get tased! Stop!
So what are your thoughts, guys? Situation like that from a law enforcement standpoint. Again, I'm not a cop. I don't know if they, if they don't have the authority to not give chase in that situation. I would love to have someone tell me from a police perspective, hey, look, once you're in this situation, you have to give chase. Once you're in this situation, regardless of the dynamics of where you end up, you have to stop this person and then so be it. Like Westwall says here, the problem is that he ran. I get that. He did run. So he bears responsibility for that. As security officers, as security guards, are we in that position? This is where a lot of times I think that the reality of our position, regardless of how we look while we're at work, regardless of what we're asked to do, regardless of, the freedom and the autonomy to do a lot of the things that we do, we're not police officers. The biggest thing is that we are not free from that civil liability. I'm going to assume, I don't know, because I don't know the full story here. I'm going to assume in that situation, the police officers are cleared because they are in the lawful commission of their duty. He has every right to stop that person. He has every right to chase a fleeing subject, I'm assuming he has every right in that situation under the circumstances of it being dark and then being in a, kind of a grassy area and there being, cars coming. Maybe he has every right to utilize his taser. I'm going to assume. At the end of the day, 99.9% of those situations that end up like this, the police officers are indemnified. They're immune from civil prosecution or liability based on that situation. My question to you guys, under the same circumstances, are we? So under the same circumstances, this person runs out of the store, goes into the street, gets hit by a car. Are we able to say, hey, we were in the commission of our duties? We shouldn't be held civilly responsible for that. I don't know that's going to happen.
Hey, what are you doing?
Important to think about. Westwell says the officer was probably concerned also that the subject's blind run would take him to a busy road. I mean, clearly it did. It did take him to a busy road. And I have a lot of answers. I don't have all the answers. And I'm bringing you guys this stuff and I'm showing you these videos. More than anything, what I want is to try and help you think. I don't know the right answer, guys. I don't. I'll come on here and I'll give you my opinion. I'll tell you what I think. What I want is for more security guards to think. I think that we are more prone in our profession to react, to respond. There's been a question on social media, a question on YouTube where people are like, do former military, do veterans make good security guards? I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're a combat veteran, I don't know that you make a good security guard because our job has so much downtime. And if you are used to being in theater, you're used to kicking in doors, you're used to doing stuff and being involved in stuff. I don't know that working in an industry where you have so much downtime is a good thing, because when something happens, you tend to respond quickly and you tend to respond, I don't want to say aggressively, but you respond quickly, right? And this is coming from a disabled veteran myself. No disrespect, not taking any shots. It's just what I see in terms of people working in an industry where it's 90% standing or sitting in one spot, and then it's 10% dealing with something in this one moment. Very dicey on both of those situations. So just wanted to show that, wanted to share that, how quickly something that seems so mundane and so, basic and innocuous could end up in that very same situation. That officer could have ended up in the exact same situation with that person running into the street, over chips and, a Red Bull or something like that. So think about your post orders, think about where you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to be doing, how involved you're supposed to be. And just think about, if something like that were to have happened in that situation and that hit social media, that would absolutely end private security. It would end it, in my opinion. What we got here. I agree. Unless you're doing bodyguard work in a dangerous area, you won't feel the same adrenaline, I'd imagine. Absolutely. Absolutely. So that's my thought on that situation. I thought the Taser video was very, very interesting, because I thought about that the first time I saw the video from the shopping center. What happens if that person runs into the street? How would we be able to articulate that? How would we be able to back out of that? I don't know. We'd be able to. So, take that under advisement. And as you're working your post, as you're working your locations, think about where you're supposed to be, what your boundaries are. If you're supposed to be inside the store and not going outside the store, don't do that. Don't put yourself in a situation where you could be ending up like those officers with the guy with the taser. So interested in your comments. I will leave this open for 1 minute. Any comments that you guys want to bring in before we end the stream, I would appreciate them. I think they're good in terms of teaching and educating. So the few people that we have here on the stream, if you want to drop a comment real quick, let me get that up on the screen for the people who watch this down the road. So important. I'm going to throw on some music here. And after the song is over, we will back out. But please drop your comments in before we get off of here. Okay. All right. Hey guys, there was a question on whether or not you can get a Taser certification. You can get a Taser certification from Axon. You can also get a civilian certification. The Taser Pulse, which is the civilian version of the, it's not the version of the X26, but the civilian Taser. You can take a civilian course. You have to remember that the Taser Pulse is 50,000 volts. The X26 is 50,000 volts. The understanding of how neuromuscular interruption works with the Taser Pulse is the same as it is with the X26. Now, you will not go through a prong tasing yourself, but you will have to utilize the Taser. You'll have to deploy it. You'll have to shoot at a target, understand the proper trajectory of the bottom prong, all of the information that you need. Having that certification for, let me pull this out here real quick. Having that certification for civilian usage, in my opinion, I'm not an attorney, but that will work as certification for you working in private security. You have to remember that, you know, you are more than likely, depending on the state that you're in, not going to have access to any sort of state certification for tasers. If you do, if you have that ability, if you can get in with a police department certification, or you can get in with a corrections department certification, that's 10 times better. But if you go right through Taser and you find a local person that has the instructor certification and can certify you on a Taser Pulse, that is better than carrying a Taser and not having anything, because you're going to have to take a test. You're going to have to demonstrate your knowledge. You're going to have to demonstrate your ability to insert your battery, to be able to insert your cartridge, the aftercare of utilizing it. The civilian Taser certification is a good certification. And I tell every security guard that I come across that wants to carry a Taser but doesn't have access to law enforcement classes to take that class. Now, another way that you can get certified in some areas for Taser is to go through bounty hunting or bodyguard certifications. Here in the Pacific Northwest, there are a couple of companies that do fugitive recovery, and they offer like a 1 week program or a weekend program where they do OC spray, Taser, baton, handcuffing. I would check with your company about whether or not they would see those as being viable certificates. You just want to make sure that when you're getting any sort of certificates or certification to carry any sort of equipment, remember, this is not only just about usage. This is about covering your ass if you end up in court. You want to make sure that whatever certification you have is a legitimate certification. Let's see what we got here. Just came by to say, what's up, man? I'm at work right now, and we'll have to watch the stream after. Take care, Damien, and thank you for your hard work. I appreciate it. Guys, it is my absolute pleasure. Daniel Young says, yeah, you can. I am a certified Taser instructor. Daniel, if you're a Taser instructor, can you put up any information? Do you have a website that people can go to, or an email? At the very least, what I would appreciate, if you put your email in the stream, then people can copy that email and they can reach out to you and have a dialogue back and forth. And maybe you can put them in contact with someone where they can get a certification or be able to answer these questions. You're way more qualified to do that than I am. So we'll give Daniel a minute here to drop his email in there if he feels comfortable. And then, guys, if you have questions, reach out to him. Reddick says, yeah, Dan, thanks. Yeah, Dan, come on, man, drop that email. We appreciate it, bro. We need it.
But I got money in the bank, gold in the safe, data in the clear, I got more in my waist. Done the whole shit, I can let it go to waste. Hold up. But I got money in the bank, gold in the safe, data in the clear, I got more in my waist. Done the whole shit, I can let it go to waste. Hold up. But I got money in the bank, gun on my waist, data on the clear, I got one in the fist.
Let me say one more thing, guys, before we get out of here. You bring up a great point, guys. With California and with Oregon, there are so many changes that are coming with these new bills that they're passing, these new laws that are coming down the pipe. We've got some huge changes coming to private security in January here in Oregon. And I know that in California, they've got some sweeping reforms. So I would say look into your information in terms of your certifications, but also find out what's going to happen when any of these new laws go in. A lot of things are changing here. I know that for firearms instruction, for some of the other certifications, some of the things involving, a lot of the things rather involving owning a company or providing service, a lot of that stuff is kind of in flux right now. So we can't even really, talk about what's changing because a lot of it hasn't been fleshed out yet, but we just know things are changing. So be aware that if you guys do find information on tasers, wherever you're at, check your local listings, because I feel like a lot of things in terms of private security, they're going to be doing a lot of passages of laws and ordinance and things like that. How they say, how goes California goes the rest of the country. And that is so true. I've seen the changes happening in California. They're happening here in Oregon, which means they're going to filter over to Washington. And then you're going to have other places in the Midwest and the East Coast doing the exact same thing. So make sure that whatever you guys do, that it applies to any changes that are coming in terms of security for you guys down the road. So, all right, I'm going to go ahead and get off here, guys. I appreciate you. That was 2 live streams that we did today. These will be going over to the member area. I want to make sure that you guys understand part of the importance of having that membership area is that some of these videos, I'm walking a really fine line with YouTube and their allowance of letting me post some of these things. A lot of the videos that we're showing, they're kind of graphic, but we can't shy away from that because it's part of what we do. And these things that we have to talk about and discuss, they're very, very, very important. I feel that they are integral to what we are doing in private security. So if we don't have an opportunity to look at these and to talk about them and to dialogue, there's a lot of potential harm that can come to the security guards, security industry. But if we don't have them behind a wall and they're readily accessible to anybody and everybody, that can really cause some problems here. So it's really important that we have a space that's away from the general area where we can kind of break this stuff down and talk about it. So diversified trading agency and courier services. All right, you guys see that? Daniel Young says diversified trading agency and courier services LLC. Everybody Google that. Find Daniel, reach out to him with any questions that you might have. And then Daniel, yeah, definitely, let us know if we can be of any help in promoting what you're doing. If you have any sort of online classes or anything, I'll be more than happy to pimp you out and kind of help and get people out to you, man. The more training, the better. Okay. All right, guys, listen, I've got 1 or 2 more things to upload tonight. These are popped in late, but you're the best, bro. Hey, Rocky, I appreciate it, man. Oh, talking to Woods. Hey, guys, Rocky here is how would I describe it? Kind of a journalist. He's really into soccer. He created an awesome Instagram page. I think it's called Talk in the Woods. He's a big fan of the Portland Timbers. And he's just a guy that I run into at the store. He lives in the area. He's not into security. He doesn't have any law enforcement background, but he supports what I do. He supports my channel. And I appreciate that, man. My man Rocky's about to move to another area to be closer to his daughter. And I think that is so noble. I absolutely respect you for that. And that's an amazing thing. Go and get that family and reconnect with your kid and reestablish that relationship. You're doing the right thing. As a father of 3 beautiful young ladies, I hate that I did not do that in my life. And I absolutely give you so much props and respect for that, bro. You go take care of that beautiful girl, okay? Take care of that little girl. All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and jump out of here. And I got a couple more things to upload before the night is over. As always, I appreciate everything. You guys have a great evening.